I want you all to meet Eric Cartman, who's a very special boy with a very hard life.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 funniest Cartman moments on South Park.
I'm talking about the end of all life as we know it.
For this list, we're looking at times when our favorite South Park character gave us the best laughs. We're excluding moments that feature songs, as those deserve their own list. What's your favorite Cartman moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Cartman's heart attacks. So, apparently one of Cartman's favorite school lunches is Sloppy Joe's.
It's Sloppy Joe Day! It's Sloppy Joe Day! I seriously think it's Sloppy Joe Day. It's my favorite day at school.
Both he and Butters are singing in line waiting when they learn the horrible truth. The school has switched the menu to healthier, more sustainable options, taking Eric's favorite lunch away. As he confronts Wendy about her complaints, his anger turns to panic as he grasps his chest and falls to the floor.
Eric, I can't.
On any other show, a heart attack might be serious, but for South Park, it's flat out funny. Between his twitching face and his anger-induced gibberish speech, watching Cartman have a heart attack from healthy food is pure gold.
Oh God, they did it to me again, Butters. Eric! I think this is the big one. Don't let me die.
Number 19, Cartman on MAURY. After roping Butters into appearing on MAURY as someone with a growth on his chin, Cartman wants a chance to have a moment on TV.
Once again, Butters is trying to screw us over, that asshole!
He convinces his mom to let him appear as an out-of-control kid. Realizing he needs to push it to the max, he puts on heavy makeup and a crop top and extends his out-of-control kid narrative to the max.
I don't go to school and I kill people. Whatever, I'll do what I want.
The funniest part comes as he tries to one-up another kid on the MAURY stage by spouting progressively worse confessions about his antics. It leads him down a dark and hilarious path about pretending to be a politician and the chaos that ensues thereafter.
Whatever, I ran for Congress and won. Then I had sex with an intern, killed her, and hit her body. Whatever, I'll do what I want.
Number 18, the Cartmanland Commercial. Suspending any disbelief that a 9-year-old kid could run a theme park alone, the idea that Cartman had one all to himself is funny enough. After inheriting a pile of cash from his grandmother, Eric buys a park for the sole purpose of being able to ride the attractions with no lines.
Forever it has been my dream to have my very own theme park, so that I could be alone in it all day, every day.
Inevitably, things go south, but not before we're treated to an awesome commercial.
And the best part is, you can't come. That's right, because at Cartmanland, only I, Eric Cartman, can get in.
As Stan and Kyle watch TV, an ad for Cartmanland comes up. It's normal at first, but the ad quickly turns as Cartman insists no one else can visit, especially his two friends.
So much to do at Cartmanland, but you can't come, especially you, Stan and Kyle.
It's as petty as you can get, but still brings a smile to our faces. Number 17, getting roasted in Best Buy. As it often is with Eric, he's dug himself into a hole and blames his mother for it.
Well, good going, Mom. You've completely screwed me over.
What happened, Eric?
After pretending to have an iPad in front of the other kids, he tries to convince his mother to buy the most expensive tablet in the store. She, of course, refuses, and thus provides us with one of the funniest bits of the episode. Knowing he'll be mocked by his friends, he insists to his mother that she is…
Might as well go buy some cigarettes, too, because I like to have a smoke after I get good.
let's say screwing him in Best Buy. It's one thing to tell a parent you feel like you're being messed with. It's something else entirely to bend over and taunt them about it.
Where was the last time your mother you?
At Best Buy?
Number 16, staying HIV positive. Human immunodeficiency virus is a serious disease. So when Cartman accidentally gets infected, he's understandably upset.
During the tonsil surgery, we had to supply you with donor blood. A mistake was made and you were given blood contaminated with HIV.
Thinking karma is at play, Kyle expresses joy over Eric's misfortune, triggering Cartman to infect his friend. After visiting Magic Johnson in the hopes of finding a cure, we're treated to a hilarious play on words from South Park's most foul-mouthed 9-year-old.
You boys both have the virus, are you sure?
We're not just sure, we're HIV positive.
When questioned about his diagnosis, instead of saying he's sure, he spouts a retort by saying he's HIV positive. His argument with Kyle about the use of the double entendre takes the joke to a whole new level, showing how funny a play on words can really be.
Well, excuse me, Kyle, for trying to keep some optimism, you know? Sometimes when things seem their darkest, you just need to try and stay HIV positive. But if you want to be so HIV negative all the time… Knock it off! Right now!
Number 15, a disturbance in their shorts. Unwilling to have another shameful incident on the books at the school, the staff insists that Cartman do his best to not mock a fellow student for losing bowel control.
Eric, we are asking you, to please just remember what happened to Corey and not let it happen to Pete.
This eventually leads to Eric convincing them to lace the kids' food with laxatives so everyone will be embarrassed. Fearful that the truth may get out, the principal and her cronies literally throw Cartman under the bus. Eric survives and gets his own revenge by giving Mr. Mackey and the staff laxative-ridden cupcakes.
It was an overly generous move for you to give all the faculty those cupcakes?
With a crutch in hand and bandages on his arm and leg, Cartman smiles on as Mackey has an explosive reaction to Eric's sweet treat, allowing hilarity to ensue.
I put a lot of Arby's horsey sauce on those.
Number 14. He's a dog. It's Cartman's turn to become hall monitor at South Park Elementary School. For the first time in his life, he's been given real authority.
Authority?
The rest of Eric's scenes play out as one giant parody of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
You can't just push me up against the... I'm the dog.
From the signature mullet to the over-aggressive attitude, Cartman does his job a little too well. But the best of it comes at the very beginning when we're introduced to Cartman as his new persona. He's got a cheesy theme song, fake goatee, and bear mace to match. The bit ends with him behind the wheel of a Hummer at a car dealership, having filmed his video for the new gig. Number 13. Faith Plus One. One could easily pick out several hilarious Cartman moments from this Season 7 gem. His conversation with the record label, losing his temper at not getting a platinum album, or even just writing music with the boys are all pretty funny. Yet we can't help but single out the homage to K-Tel and their countless attempts to sell records on TV.
Oh Lord, you are my savior. You know I miss you so much when you are gone.
Not only does it look and sound like one of those commercials from the 80s, the songs themselves, both music and lyrics, are nothing but pure genius.
The body of Christ, sleek swimmer's body, all mustered up and toned. The body of Christ.
Anyone watching this bit will be walking away wishing the album were real so they could pick up one of those limited edition copies. Number 12. Eating toothpaste and writing movies. Forever picking on poor Butters, Cartman puts on a crude robot costume and pretends to be Butters' new best friend.
Greetings, I am the Osmo 4000. Whoa.
The joke, of course, is that everyone else knows it's a kid in a costume except Butters. Even after arriving in Los Angeles, Eric keeps the joke going even though he hasn't eaten anything since getting in the outfit. That leads us to a hilarious moment where Cartman is forced to eat toothpaste in the bathroom.
Osmo? Osmo is coming. Come on, Osmo. We're gonna go a sightseeing.
The laughs go even further when the two begin pitching numerous movie ideas to Catamount Pictures.
Adam Sandler is like in love with some girl, but then it turns out that the girl is actually a golden retriever or something.
We can't help but chuckle at how desperate the studio must be if they're taking ideas from a kid in a box. Number 11. He killed hippies. If there's one thing Cartman makes clear, it's how much he hates hippies.
Hello, ma'am. I'm working to clean up the neighborhood from parasites. Do you mind if I take a quick look around your house? I'm afraid you may have hippies.
Acting as an exterminator of sorts, he's spotting more and more of them in town and tries to warn the mayor about the perils of having them around.
3 new drum circles have sprouted up here, here, and here. They're all growing in diameter at a rate of 2 hippies per hour.
When a huge music festival ensues, the town quickly realizes how bad of an idea it was. This leads to Eric spearheading a movement to rid the town of the infestation via heavy metal music.
If we can reach the stage, we can upload this Slayer CD into their music system. Hippies can't stand death metal.
Watching people get plowed through by Cartman's boring machine is both devastating and hilarious. He's a man on a machine who does eventually rid the site of all the squatters thanks to a little Slayer. Number 10. Food Critic.
I was thinking of giving this place 5 stars.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm kind of teetering on 5 stars or 1 star.
Oh, no 1 star, please. What can we do
I mean, I could probably be persuaded with some free desserts.
When the people of South Park discover the power that comes with being a Yelp reviewer, it seems like no one can resist its temptations. Except, of course, for the restaurants, who are fed up with it.
All you Yelp reviewers, get the hell out of here!
Cartman is one of the first to abuse his power, using his influence to make fun of the new kid in school, David.
Your parents' restaurant just wasn't up to my standards, David. 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 I can update this to a 1-star review in 2 seconds, dude.
Of course, as the number of local Yelpers grows, his powers wane. Cartman calls for a meeting of Yelpers to establish him as top dog, but soon finds himself overwhelmed by the sheer number of reviewers who show up.
Hello, hi.
Is this the right place?
Watching Cartman abuse his power is entertaining, but seeing him go up against hordes of similarly stubborn reviewers is even better. Number 9. Cartman fakes Tourette's.
I've got a golden ticket.
Cartman learning about Tourette's syndrome is just another example of his usual offensive behavior that's hard to forget about. After seeing another child with the disorder, Cartman pretends to be afflicted with it and actually manages to convince both his mother and a doctor.
Tourette's syndrome? What is that, Mommy? Butthole!
Cue Cartman taking every opportunity to call Kyle anti-Semitic terms and basically curse out every person in his life.
Kyle, watch your language!
Seeing the devilish joy on Cartman's face as he curses without repercussions, especially at a helpless Kyle who knows he's faking it, makes the episode well worth a watch. This is one of Cartman's most despicably funny moments. Number 8. Cartman thinks he's dead. When Cartman commits the ultimate sin, eating the skin off of everyone's KFC chicken, his friends start outright ignoring Cartman to teach him a lesson.
From now on, let's not talk to him, let's not even acknowledge him.
It works better than they could have imagined, with Cartman assuming he's actually died. A notion further reinforced by a number of coincidences, including his mom seemingly crying over his death when in reality she's sleeping with the plumber.
Not crying?
This all culminates in one of the most entertaining and ridiculous things Cartman has ever done. He runs straight into a building full of criminals holding hostages and acts like a ghost, thoroughly confusing everyone involved.
What the hell is going on?
I have no idea.
Yes, it's working.
The moment Cartman realizes he's not dead and that everyone's just been ignoring him all along is extremely satisfying.
You told me I was a ghost! But I thought you were one! How stupid are you?
Number 7. Ms. Lopez. Few South Park characters are as memorable as Ms. Lopez, Cartman's ventriloquist hand that takes on a life of its own and dominates South Park. What starts as a bid to win Cultural Diversity Day quickly takes on a life of its own.
Wait! Oh my god, I can't believe it! Hello, you still there? They want to sign me to their record company!
Soon, Cartman's left hand is signing to a record label, recording music videos about taco-flavored kisses, and making out, yeah, we'll just leave it at making out, with Ben Affleck.
Dude!
Just like tacos.
Taco-flavored kisses for my bang.
And this culminates in one of the greatest reveals in all of TV, the shocking revelation that Ms. Lopez is actually conman Mitch Connor, who's tired of running. Who saw that one coming? But Cartman being along for the ride is equal parts hilarious and absurd.
I am not Jennifer Lopez! I am... Mitch Connor.
Number 6. The dog whisperer tames Cartman. Cartman has always been a lot to handle.
I'm sorry I handcuffed Billy Turner's ankle to the school flagpole.
When his mom hires nannies to watch him, Eric manages to send them to the mental health hospital. At a loss, Miss Cartman turns to a dog whisperer as a last resort, hoping that his dog training can work for her wayward son.
See, the child thinks your world revolves around him because it does. Because everything he does gets a response from you.
Yeah, well, I don't see why... Hey!
Don't look at the child, just keep looking at me.
This episode is hilarious in a number of ways. Watching Cartman get s***ed by Caesar is extremely satisfying, especially because the dog training techniques work where everything else has failed.
See, once again, I am the one going for a walk. This is about me. The child is lucky enough to come along.
Mom, this is degrading! God damn it!
Perhaps even funnier is that the real Cesar Millan complimented the episode for its accuracy in dog training tactics. It's always nice to see celebrities enjoying their portrayals since the show angers so many others.
Now you can give him a snack. Good, this is really good. Now try command.
Number 5. Cartman at the Special Olympics. In terms of offensiveness, few things are worse than Cartman's infamous plan in this episode.
Dirt. I want to be in the Special Olympics. Boozer.
He decides to pretend that he has a disability so that he can enter the Special Olympics and earn the $1,000 cash prize. That being said, few things are funnier than seeing Cartman get pissed off as he gets literally destroyed by every other contestant in the Special Olympics, after he assumed it would be a breeze.
God damn it!
What starts out as a plan to win some easy money turns into Cartman struggling to finish the events and ends with him getting a Spirit Award for coming in dead last. It's always satisfying to see Cartman's terrible plans backfire in such an embarrassing way.
For winning the Spirit Award, Eric will receive this gift certificate to Shakey's for $50. Come on up, Eric!
Number 4. Fonics Monkey.
Look, I got you hooked on monkey phonics.
What the hell is hooked on monkey phonics?
With a spelling bee coming up, Miss Cartman decides to buy Eric a device to help him win. That normally wouldn't be funny, except the tool in question is a live monkey with a drum set.
Hey, this is easy. I'm gonna win the spelling bee for sure, man.
Said monkey turns out to be Eric's secret weapon for the spelling bee, as it plays the drums to help him spell. Watching the Fonics Monkey and Eric interact is hilarious, especially when the monkey stares him down and waits for him to start spelling. The funniest part, however, is when Cartman enters the spelling bee and fails at the first word, chair, because the Fonics Monkey won't cooperate because it's too busy doing something else. Cue an angry Cartman chasing the monkey offstage. Classic.
Get over here, you son of a bitch, Fonics Monkey!
Number 3, Casa Bonita. Cartman will do anything to get what he wants, often pursuing his desires at the expense of others. This is displayed to full effect when Kyle says he's going to Casa Bonita for his birthday and bringing Stan, Kenny, and Butters instead of Eric.
Butters? You're gonna take that butthole? Why? Because Butters isn't a total dick to me. I have never been a dick to you.
Cartman starts apologizing for his behavior, but learns he can only go if Butters can't. So what does he do? Why, he locks Butters in a bomb shelter, tells him a meteor hit the Earth, and that radioactive cannibals now roam free.
Now, Butters, listen. No matter what happens, no matter what you hear, do not come out. If I don't make it back in time with the others, then it will be up to you to repopulate the Earth.
When people learn of his plan and call the police, Cartman makes one mad dash through Casa Bonita, culminating in him leaping off the fake waterfall. Was it worth it?
Totally.
Number 2, respect my authority.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
After Officer Barr Brady resigns from the police force over his illiteracy, he enlists the boys' help to learn how to read. Cartman, however, decides to take justice into his own hands and begins patrolling the street on a tricycle, pulling over people for speeding and beating people with his nightstick when they don't listen to him. The most iconic part of this episode, however, comes from Cartman's memorable quote, which he repeats whenever someone doesn't listen to him.
Respect my authority!
What else can we say? Watching Cartman act like a cop and enjoy beating people with a nightstick really never gets old. Just respect his authority, people.
No, that's not how you uphold the law!
But he is not listening to my authority!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, TENORMAN Chili. Our number 1 pick is also without a doubt Cartman's most infamous scene. Following sales of pubic hair, a specially trained pony, and some very hairy chili, one would think that Eric and Scott Tenorman's rivalry couldn't get any worse. But you'd be wrong. Cartman doesn't only vow revenge, he also gets it in perhaps one of the most dastardly and diabolical plots ever in television history.
Yes, it is the most genius plan ever. Scott Tenorman is going to wish he never met me!
He isn't content with simply humiliating the 8th grader. Instead, he orchestrates the killing of Scott's parents and cooks them into a chili, which Scott then unknowingly eats.
Do you like it, Scott? I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman chili. Oh my God!
Eric goes so far as to lick the still streaming tears from his rival's face.
Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet.
Many years later, this scene is still as shocking and over the top as the day it aired. It is messed up, but there's also something darkly hilarious about watching Cartman explain his plan as his friends listen with visible horror.
After a night with the hacksaw, I was all ready to put on my chili con carnival so that I could tell you personally about your parents' demise.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.